Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my October TBR, and I'm well aware that this is going up a little bit late and it's already like 10 or 11 days into October, but I still wanted to tell you guys what I would like to get read. But before we go ahead and get on into the list, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I post new bookish content. I post new videos every Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and sometimes other days throughout the week. Also, don't forget to check down in the description box for links to all of my social media, my Buddy Read Discord, and my Patreon, where you can be entered into winning book giveaways from me. So in the month of October, I did want to read a couple of atmospheric spooky reads. And the first one is Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. This is book 2 in her Cassidy Blake series, which is a middle grade ghost hunting paranormal series. And this book takes place in Paris, in the underground Paris catacombs, where they have millions of dead bodies and bones. And Cassidy, with her ghost sidekick, is hunting a poltergeist that is wreaking havoc on Paris. I read City of Ghosts a couple years ago. I thought it was super cute and fun, and it's so atmospheric. Victoria Schwab's way of like just writing creepy things but not graphic things is just so spot on, and I thought it would be perfect to read in October. And I have already finished this and it was super cute. I'll have a full review up for it later on in the week. The next book is a book that I am still reading, and you guys, I'm going to finish Dune this month. Gosh darn it, I promise. This I have been reading for like 2 months, and I haven't read anything in several weeks because I was reading Best Served Cold, which was like dense enough. But the movie comes out like soon, very soon, and I still have half of this book to get through. I'm still on page 389, so I'm like halfway through, and I finally got the book, the audiobook, back from the library, so I can definitely go ahead and knock this out this week. This is going to be my focus, so I can see the movie. I'm at the point where Paul and his mom are in the desert, and they are kind of enlisting the help of the Freeman. So I'm at like a crucial point in the book, a good turning point in the book. So I'm excited to be on like the second half of the story. So I'm going to finish Dune, guys, I promise. Next is a book that one of my patrons picked. So every single month, one of my patrons gets to pick a book off of my physical TBR for me to read and review. And this month, Nick chose iRobot by Isaac Asimov, which I'm actually very excited for. So a couple of months ago, I did a video about all of these standalone sci-fi books that I own and want to read, and iRobot was on here. And I also have tried to read the Foundation series by this author, and I really struggled with it. So I've heard that iRobot is a lot easier and accessible to read. However, the show for Foundation is amazing. So I'm really excited to get into this, but all I know about it is it's kind of like a collection of stories about artificial intelligence and AIs in a futuristic setting. So we follow different types of robots, kind of like different types of people and their stories. And it's fairly short, which is good because I do have a lot I want to get through in the month of October. So thank you so much, Nick, for picking this book. I am very, very eager to get into it. The next book is Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb. This is book 3 in the Tawny Man trilogy and the final book in this trilogy. I finished up Golden Fool not that long ago and absolutely loved it. 5-star read for me, and so many more questions were introduced in that book, way more than I would have thought for a middle book, and I am so eager to jump in and kind of unravel the mystery of those questions. But if you have not been following along on my channel, you know that I have been going through the Robin Hobb universe, starting with the live ship traders, and I have been reading along with some awesome other booktubers. We do a live show after every book, so I will go ahead and link the live show we did for the Golden Fool up in the cards if you're interested in checking it out. But we just discussed how much Robin Hobb has been enhancing the realm of the Elderlings, developing the world, as well as making those connections to the live ship traders series. We got some cameos from some of those characters, so I'm just really excited to see how she ties everything together in Fool's Fate. And this is a chunker. This is like a 900-page book, so I know it's going to take me a while to get through, but I am so excited to see how she ends this trilogy so that I can finally jump into the Rainwild Chronicles in December. And next we have our buddy read for the month, which is The Necromancers House by Christopher Buehlman. This is an author that I just got introduced to in 2021, and I own 3 of his books now. But this is a standalone fantasy horror, and we are following a warlock named Andrew, and he lives out in the country. And about 30 years ago, he ended up stealing these magical relics from the Soviet Union, and they are hidden in his house. And one day, this monster from Russian folklore somehow escapes or appears and starts wreaking havoc on Andrew and his house. I don't know for what reason. I don't know if it comes from one of the relics or if he accidentally summons this monster. I don't really know how it happens. And in this house, Andrew has actually set up all of these like booby traps and everything to make sure that either the monster doesn't get out or the relics stay in. I don't know. But we are basically following this warlock and this monster as they duke it out in this house. And it just sounds so bizarre and so cool and like nothing that I've ever read before. And I'm interested to try this author because I have two of his other books and I don't think I've ever read anything classified as like fantasy horror. So I'm super excited to get into it. Also, it's a standalone and we got some Russian folklore. I don't know anything about Russian mythology or folklore, so I'm really excited to learn some new stuff. So if you're interested in reading the Necromancers House with us, click the Discord link down below. And then the next two books are books that I will get to if I get everything else done, and they are kind of like spooky October-y reads. So the first book I would like to get to is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. She is the author of The Haunting of Hill House, and this book is super short. She writes really short books, and I have heard that this book is even better than The Haunting of Hill House. So because of the time period she wrote, I think that these books are fairly tame with regards to the horror elements compared to like horror nowadays. But like the stuff she writes, even her short stories, I read a couple of her short stories, they are so unsettling. Like they're not graphic, but just like the concepts that she introduces and like how she adds it into the story is just creepy. So this one I'm super curious about. But in this book, we were following a girl named Mary Catherine who is 18 years old and she lives in this house with her entire family, almost like this castle. But I think from what I understand, everyone but her is dead. And that's all I know about it. I don't know anything else about this book. There's no synopsis. All I know is the people on this book look like ghosts and they look very unhappy. So I'm actually more interested in this book, not only because it's short and because it's Shirley Jackson, but because I don't know what it's about. And I think going into this not knowing anything is going to make the experience even better. So this is a book that I would really like to get to. Maybe I can do like a 24-hour read on Halloween or something like that. Let me know if you guys want me to do that. Maybe I'll do like a 24-hour reading vlog for this book on Halloween. So definitely would like to get to this in October. And the next book, if I can fit it in, is a thriller, and that is Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks. But in this book, we're following a girl named Jessica, and Jessica takes part of this experiment with this doctor, and I don't really know the details surrounding the experiment. It's on ethics and morality, but I don't know if it involves drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, hallucinogenics. I don't know if it involves any of that, but all I know is that Jessica starts to be unable to tell the difference between hallucinations and reality, and she realizes that the doctor is somehow manipulating the events in her life, and she can't really figure out what's real and what's not. And then there is some sort of physical sexual attraction between her and the doctor that is complicating things. So this book just sounds like it'd be a good October read because it's one of those situations where you don't know if the narrator is reliable, you don't know who is actually good, who is actually bad. Is it her that's bad? Is it the doctor that's bad? What is real? What isn't? And like I said, I've never read a psychological thriller, so I feel like this one would be a great place to start. Okay, you guys, that is it for my October TBR. Hopefully I can get through some of these books. Let me know what books you are reading in the month of October, and if you have any good spooky Halloween recommendations, and I will see y'all in another video soon. Goodbye!